turn around and go back to his family. Instead, he pressed on, believing he was their only hope. It was a long, straight line, but when you actually open the doors, what was the James was able to command 40 or 40 males, Ziggy and Zaggy, up over 4 different routes. And so this was a suicide mission. James ultimately traveled 16 miles to some of the most treacherous terrain in the country, where he became like a street.
Hello, my resin monkeys. 'Tis I, your resin queen, back from an adventure in 3D printing. Yes, it finally happened. Your queen decided to try 3D resin printing. And what better way to share my results with all of you than with a very, very probably long video. So with that in mind, why don't you sit back, relax, bring out some snacks, and enjoy the video. What? What is that you say? You have no snacks? Well, may I recommend Boxu? Yes, my resin monkeys, this video is sponsored by Boxu. Boxu is a premium Japanese snack subscription. It brings you exclusive, hand-picked Japanese snacks and tea pairings from all over Japan. I've honestly been enjoying my subscription and I don't really have any complaints. My favorite snacks so far have been the savory ones, believe it or not. This one, for example, the Karito Crunchy Jaga Curry. It might smell strong, but the flavor is really balanced and light, and it has really, really nice crispiness to it and crunchiness. I honestly can't get enough of it. Plus, Boxu makes such a perfect and memorable gift for anyone in your life that appreciates Japanese snacks and culture, especially during times when people aren't able to travel as easily as they would like to. And actually, not only would you be gifting them Boxu, which is already awesome, but also you would technically be gifting them a chance to win free tickets to Japan. They will be picking 5 lucky winners to win a free set of tickets. And anybody that subscribes before December 31st is automatically entered. I'll be including a link in my description to the terms and conditions and also to other methods of entry. So if you want to win free tickets to Japan, use my code LEONA10 or use the link in my description to become eligible to win the giveaway. My code will give you 10% off for your subscription. Don't miss out on this unique opportunity. It's available for anybody who subscribes until December 31st. And with that, let's get on to the nitty-gritty of this video. A lot of you have been asking me for my take and opinion on 3D resin kits. First, I want to say that this developing technology is indeed amazing, but I have 2 major complaints that really have to do and don't have to do with the actual operation of, 3D printing. If you're interested in listening to my incoming rant about this situation, please stay a while and listen. If you're not into that, I have conveniently started leaving chapters in this video for you to skip over my ramblings. Okay, with the fair warning out there that this is an incoming rant, my actual complaint involves the 3D print enthusiasts in the community that they have created. As a newcomer myself to this new technology, I looked up communities on Reddit and Facebook. And let me tell you that the amount of people willing to come over and help out a newbie like me is close to 0. I tried getting help and guidance and I was completely ignored, or I was told that I was doing things wrong, but nobody, absolutely nobody, would tell me how to fix my issues or why I was experiencing them in the first place. So for the 3D printing community, I am very sorry, but you get an F in my book. Your communities don't seem to be newbie friendly or even welcoming to people that are trying to get into this themselves, like me. These communities basically left me to fend for myself. And honestly, I had a horrible time getting into this. In fact, I'm still figuring out the ins and outs of all this. My second complaint involves none other than 3D modelers. Oh yes, you people. No, you people don't get a free pass. Just like the traditional sculptors that do regular resin kit figures that we shit on. Yeah, I'm gonna shit on you now. Not exactly shit per se, but I'm going to air my grievances with you people. A lot of you, and I've seen a lot of you, are extremely talented. In fact, I don't even know how to sculpt in real life, much less in 3D on the computer. So kudos to you for actually, bringing in some really high quality sculptures digitally. That's for sure. You get like A+ from me when it comes to digital skills. We're good on that, okay? Okay. But here comes the but, okay? A lot of you, I'm pretty sure 95% of you have never painted a garage kit, aka model or resin kit in your life. Why do I say this? Because when you sculpt your 3D model, when you start to think about how you will be dividing your model, you're actually just thinking in 3D so that you can translate that into print, like an actual physical print. And that's it. Like I said, this happens with the majority of you from what I've observed. A lot of you will be like, this model prints just right. So I tested it, it prints out okay. And that is good in a technical way. Problem is that you guys only think of your model to be printed but not painted. And that's a major issue that we have. You maybe not know me, but I know you, okay? And I have issues with how you divide your models. I've seen so many models divided where they're like, yeah, it prints out okay. Yeah, but if the model, let's say, has hair bangs on top of the face, it's all one piece. It's gonna be really hard for me to not only get my airbrush in between the bang of the hair and the face, but even harder for someone that actually is using a conventional brush. As a 3D modeling artist that is making models to be printed out, you need to not only think about the printing situation, but you also need to think about the painter. Sometimes I'll even see models be sliced right in the middle. Like, why? Why are you slicing models right in the middle when you can actually divide pieces by arms, by hands, head, face, hair? Like, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, just take a look at my channel. I have a ton of videos, and all of them are traditional resin kits sculpted and casted by hand. There you actually see what I have to deal with on a daily basis. Lots of the kits that I work with have been divided in a very intuitive way. Easy for the end user, which is me, to paint said kit and have a great experience. Basically, what I'm trying to say here to you as a 3D modeler, or to you that probably knows a 3D modeler and does these models to sell for printing, you should definitely think about your model, not only to print out in a technical aspect, but also to be painted with, and not only with a brush, because a lot of us use airbrush. And when you divide pieces very awkwardly, it's really hard to get your airbrush into those areas. In conclusion to my little long rant, I honestly believe that when someone wants to get into a new hobby, the first thing they try to look up nowadays is a community. And if the community or the communities that they find online are not welcoming or are not newbie friendly, they will be really put off when trying to join. I almost experienced that. I was almost at the point where I was like, I don't want to do this because the people in this community don't want to help at all. And to the 3D modelers out there, don't just think about your model to be printed out correctly. Think about your model in a way so that you can plan and divide the pieces or separate your pieces in a way where a painter can comfortably paint them. Honestly, I've seen so many models out there that I fell in love with But as soon as I saw the parts division, I was completely put off to buying it entirely. You need to be willing to work with the end user, not just the person that's going to print out the model, maybe for somebody else, but also the person that's going to paint it. You hear that? That's the sound of people frantically going into my comment section and trying to say, that's not me, or I don't know anybody that's like that, blah, blah, blah. Okay, save it. Save it. You may not be like that, but the community as a whole did left me with a very bad taste in my mouth. Especially, like, even if you're not one of those people that I'm talking about, months ago when I was having problems printing out and figuring things out, I basically went to my socials and was like, what am I doing wrong? Nobody helped. Absolutely no, people just started leaving comments saying, maybe you're doing this, maybe you're doing that, but nobody gave me specific details on how to fix my problem. So where were you when I was asking for help? So with my rant over, I hope I didn't bore you. I hope you didn't take personal offense. And if you did, maybe the sock fit you. I don't know. But people wanted my opinion. I am giving my opinion, and it's not something I like to do that much in my videos because I tend to take a lot of time ranting, if you know what I mean. With that out of the way and curiosity satiated, let me take you through my own experience printing and painting this 3D resin model as a professional model painter myself. Printing this bastard took around 4 days to complete. I printed out the body parts in white resin for easier priming and painting, and the clothes in regular gray resin as they will be painted in dark colors, so this will help a lot. I did have several failures, but I was able to reprint them out without any issues, except the damn hoodie. It took me around 30 hours just to print that fucker up, and it failed at the very bottom of the side of the piece. But honestly, I ain't printing this again and wasting more resin, so I'm just gonna resculpt that with some putty. This is where you can tell that a model painter is superior to the 3D print enthusiast, because while they try to reprint their piece until they get a good copy, we're over here thinking about how we're gonna fix what we already have. No hate, just the truth. After the model was fully printed, give it with a few failures, I started to do what I normally do with any kit that I regularly work with, which is checking the fitting. There are several issues, some due to the print kind of failing, but other fitting issues could have been due to the model or the printing or both. I honestly do not know. The only thing I'm interested right now is to see which are the problem areas that I will need to work on, which almost all the issues came from the pieces not connecting fully due to the connection pegs needing some sanding to get a proper fit. Once that was taken care of and the pieces connected correctly, it was time to pin. Pinning is usually no big deal on a regular GK, but 3D printed resin is very different. For those of you that had had the dishonor of working with Thai kits, you may have a clear idea of the type of brittle and hard resin you will have to deal with when working with a 3D printed one. I had to drill in very carefully as to not break the peg I'm drilling into. Inserting the metal pin was also nerve-wracking because if you didn't break the peg when you were drilling, you could certainly do it when inserting the damn thing. Even if I did it slowly and carefully, I almost broke a bit of the peg, but I didn't do more than that except for a small crack. I also decided to drill directly through his hoodie so that I can get a proper alignment hold with the torso. I brought out my very thin 0.5mm rods to pin the very small pieces, but due to the resin being very hard, I decided to drill in a bigger hole to fill in with epoxy putty, then inserting the metal pin so that I can get an accurate alignment between the two pieces. I used to do this before with my other kits, but had recently started using the sticky tack trick, but it doesn't work well with printed resin, so I found that drilling a bigger hole than filling it with putty works best for this situation. And just like any other kit, I am puttying all the pieces so they may have a snug connection between all of them. And also take care of those larger pinholes by filling it with some 15 minutes plumber's putty for a quick fix. I've recently been told that a lot of YouTubers don't really care what they put in the description and they don't really put any effort in it. And that's why nobody checks the description area on any video. Honey, that's news to me. Because I take my sweet fucking time to go in there in the description area and fill it with so much freaking information that the least you can do as the viewer is check it out in the bottom and stop being freaking lazy. That way, you'll look less ridiculous when you leave a comment asking for questions with obvious answers that you'll find in the description area below. As per the fucked up hoodie, I am just gonna build up the missing area with some polyester putty, and before you ask, all of the information to the materials I use in my videos are listed in the description. When the excess putty was removed, I checked out his torso area, and the part where the body connects to the legs looks, I don't know, wrong, like a cheap toy or something. I needed it to be more organic, so I made a guide to drill down that area so that I can extend the torso part into the pants and make it look more natural. Then I took care of the base and we're off to the next step. Now that the putty work was done, it was time to sand off all that excess. Not only that, but I know for a fact that there are some slight printing layers left behind on the surface, so I want to make sure that I sand the excess off, but also create a smooth texture, because I've seen some videos of people painting 3D printed figures and they don't even sand or prime the pieces and the results look awful. I won't name drop anybody, but you've probably seen them too, and I will definitely not let that happen here with my figure. It needs to look like an actual figure and not something that was 3D printed. I also see that they don't even pin the pieces, so that's a huge no-no. I decided to pin the foot to the base at the end once it was fully puttied, and I just drilled through the bottom to get an accurate angle for the pins and give this boy some much needed stability. Okay, priming time! This is the part where I realized that my sanding and putty work was weak, and all those surface imperfections came out screaming, particularly the repaired hoodie. But that's the point of priming. It lets you see all these issues to rework those problem areas so that your final result will look amazing once you've done fixing them. So I did just that by adding some more patches of putty to be sanded off and then smoothed off again. Okay, round 2 of sanding. Thanks to the primer, I can now see some leftover printing layers on some of these pieces, so I'm sanding those down with a fine sponge sander, which have been really helpful when treating the surface to smooth it out. If you can get yourself these sponges, it will ease your sanding work by a lot.
I'll stick like glue inside your mind. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind. Just watch me. Just watch me. I got you wrapped around. finger. But don't you try to call me tomorrow. There's nothing personal in having a little fun. You'll wait to see if it's worth your while. So give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me.
Give me your all. I'll take it to Mars. Oh, I'll stick like glue inside your mind.
Just watch me. Just watch me. Just watch me.
Now this is familiar. This is no longer unexplored territory, but my own forte. So from this point on, I'll be working on Eren the same way I do with any other kit. And with that, I'll start by reapplying primer, then making sure to cover everything with a layer of white to prepare the skin for painting. For which I'll be using Mr. Hobby's Lascivas line for that. I want the hoodie and the pants to be different but similar in color, so I'll be painting the hoodie with a dark gray while the pants will be black. Then I'm going to pre-highlight all those lovely folds on the fabric with a combination of burgundy and a clear blue to get a nice effect on it. Black is not always shaded, but highlighted. And just like white, where you can use blue or purple to shade, you can use the same colors but to add highlights to black. A quick masking with sticky tack for the hair, because this is all the masking that I'm gonna do with this figure, and we're good. His hair is very, very dark, almost like a black-brown color. So I'll be adding some brown to create some highlights, and the rest will just be black. The belt is also black, but I will be adding a coat of glossy varnish to it so that it can stand out against the matte finish of the pants. Then just dry brush the base with several shades of brown, and this part is done. Now to just add some pastel shadings to his lovely, lovely body. But I do have to wonder about something. How did Eren get this ripped? I get it. The Survey Corps, they're soldiers, okay? They have their routines for exercising and all, but Eren went into spy mode into another country and made everybody think that he was a handicapped person with just one leg. Like, how the hell did he do it? Nuh-uh. If you're gonna tell me that because you carry the Titan that automatically makes you ripped, then why isn't Pike or Pikey or whatever the heck you pronounce her name, why isn't she ripped too? Plot holes, I tell you, plot holes. Anyways, yeah, you know the drill. Just shade with pastels to bring those details out even more. If you're a regular on this channel, you know that if there's one thing I love to do is paint details. So that means hands and fingers if the sculpt has them, and oh my god, this sculpt has them in spades. Finally, all that's left is the face. Now, the eyes are pretty small. They're not really accurate to the anime or the manga design, but something maybe in the middle. So I will try my best at giving him that angry, defiant expression we see him do in that iconic manga panel along with the 3-second trailer. Yes, you heard that, 3 seconds, because in case you didn't notice, they completely changed the animation for that scene. I guess they couldn't only afford 3 seconds and they had to cut down their spending for the actual series. Yes, I'm ranting. So now that you've seen what it takes to work with on a 3D printed resin figure, it's time to see if all that work holds up and check out the final result. Monkeys, I hope this video entertained you and also gave you some information. As to what you will encounter if you want to work with a 3D printed kit, I think the technology still has a long way to go, but it does have a lot of potential. Will I paint another 3D model? Most likely. Will this channel change its focus from traditional garage kits to 3D printed shit? In your dreams, okay? But when I do more 3D printed work, you will be sure that I will share my trials and tribulations with all of you. If that can help you in your own 3D printing and painting journey, I'm all for it. And for those of you wondering what my 3D printer is and what my setup looks like, all that information is in the description box below, because yes, I'm gonna make you work for it, you bitch. But before I go, I want to thank each and every one of my patrons over on Patreon, because without their support, I wouldn't be able to bring you more videos more often, as you can see. Aside from the lovely people right now that you see going up on screen, I want to take this opportunity and personally thank Iconolast, Jessica Painter, Kiki, Amagon Rush, Fake It Till You Make It Mom, Blah, it's me, iMuse, Shisei Delani, Evelyn Cole, and Laura Chan. Thank you so much for your support. And hey, to all of you watching, if you liked to watch me work on Eren's ripped body, you should definitely consider becoming a patron, because there is a juicy 40-minute long video of me working on Aoba from Dramatical Murder. Yes! If you think I went all out on details with Eren, you have no idea how Aoba came out. I've also opened an exclusive Patreon Discord server, so if you wanna go over there and have a little chat with me, you are more than invited to the party. Also, don't forget that I am streaming every Saturday and every Sunday on Twitch live for you lovely people. Saturday is the English stream and Sunday es el stream en español. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for both days. Come and join the fun. We have a lot of shenanigans for the English stream y un montón de chisme para el stream en español. As always, follow me on any or all of my social media. Hit that like button, smash that subscribe button, and click the bell icon for all notifications for future videos on this channel. Just click the damn button. It's free, okay? You don't have to do anything. Just stop being lazy, click the damn button, okay? Don't do it for me. Do it for ripped Eren. Until next time, my resin monkeys. Now that I think about it, maybe having a Titan does automatically give you ripped abs. I mean, look at Zeke's Beast Titan. Never thought about that.